Welcome back, tributes, to episode 52 of Into the Arena. I'm Holly,
And I'm Emily.
and tonight we have our finale of our favorite Hunger Games movie scenes. So that's exciting. But before
Hmm.
we dive in, our usual announcement, join us for Tribute Talk tomorrow. It is happening, except this time, Emily and Holly will be together. Dun, dun, dun.
Woo!
Talking about us in the third person. I'm just so excited. So yeah, join us then. It's gonna be really fun. It'll have everyone as it normally does, but we'll just be in the same state, which is crazy. So join us for that,
Yeah,
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
the last chapter and the epilogue.
It makes me so sad. I can't believe that we've gone through Mockingjay already. So definitely check it out. If you can't, we also have episodes posted after the live. So join us for more Mockingjay talk. Yeah, that leads us into our episode tonight, which is our favorite Mockingjay Part 2 scenes. So last night, Emily was texting me saying, I can't decide between my top five. I was over here like, I know my five, I'm in and I'm out, because if you know me, you know I don't like watching this movie at all. It just depresses me, to be quite honest with you.
But what I don't understand, because you always say that you don't like watching this movie, but you don't not like this movie.
Exactly. Like,
So,
it just makes me really sad. I hate watching the last movie to like Twilight or for the Hunger Games. I hate watching it. It just makes me really depressed because it's ending. I know I can start my marathon over right away, but it just makes me sad. And what's so hard is the most recent time I rewatched Mockingjay Part 2, it was just so depressing. It just hurts so much just seeing all of my favorite characters die. It's like, why do I subject
yeah.
myself to this pain?
It does stink watching the good characters go.
Yeah, so my favorite scenes were pretty easy to pick out. There's nothing really too sad from them.
I think after rewatching this movie and having read Mockingjay, I think Mockingjay Part 2 has moved further down my list, my ranking of the films. Just
Really?
thinking through scenes that I love and comparing the amount of scenes that I love and what kinds of scenes I love in the different movies really made me analyze my ranking of the films. I think I like Mockingjay Part 1 better than Mockingjay Part 2. And Mockingjay
Ooh,
Part 2, I've always said was my second favorite. So
yeah.
this
Wow.
podcast
So
is changing me.
I know revisiting things changes everything.
Hmm.
Well, so should we dive in? I'm so curious to hear yours because you said yours were kind of niche.
I think that's part of the reason why it moved kind of farther down in my ranking, because
Mhm.
there aren't a lot of major scenes in Mockingjay Part 2 that are on like my favorite scenes list. It's a lot of obscure moments that I really
Okay.
like scattered like throughout the film. So I think that tipped it in some of the other movies' favor in my rankings. Yeah, you want to start with number five?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. My number five is the Katniss and Peeta introducing the real or not real game to each other.
You're a painter. You're a baker. You always sleep with the windows open. You never take sugar in your tea. You always double knot your shoelaces. You were right. I can't do this.
It has the iconic line, "You don't take sugar in your tea" line, like that one.
That
And
is
it's
such
just,
a good line. It's a top tier moment
it's so
from the
perfect.
books. Yeah.
And I like it because they stayed pretty true to the book when they did it. And it's just a Katniss and Peeta scene because that's like a majority of what my favorite scenes are. Guilty. So that's my number five.
This is gonna be hard because I feel like all the scenes you're gonna talk about, I'm not gonna have much to say because I'm gonna be like, well, I didn't put it on my list because I don't like this or like I don't like that.
Okay,
This is
so
supposed to be a positive episode.
what do you not like about it? I'm curious.
I feel like the book it's better in the book.
It
I don't
is.
I don't
Everything's
I
better in a
don't
book.
Yeah, but a lot better in the book. I don't know. I don't know. I
I
think
think it's kind of
Katniss is
funny when they like
more
wake up everyone and like Finnick just like looks up and he's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, come on, quiet down over there."
true, true. There's a lot of lines that made it into the movie but aren't said in the way that I imagined, I
Okay.
guess. Or
Yeah.
like the emotion is slightly different than what I
Okay.
imagined reading the book. And so like even though there are a lot of things that made it in, like that are direct from the book, they don't align with what's in my mind.
Okay. What's your
It's a
number
good
5?
scene though. Oh my gosh, you'll probably be surprised. It's the scene between Joanna and Katniss in the hospital after
Mm.
Katniss gets shot.
Well, there she is. The Mockingjay. Oh, that speech you gave. Oh, man, feel. I mean, I still have goosebumps. You don't mind, do you? They cut off my supply of morphine. There's this head doctor that comes in and sees me every day trying to help me adjust to reality, like some guy from this rabbit's warren actually knows anything about my reality. At least 20 times in a session, he tells me that I'm totally safe. Safe from the Capitol. Safe from snow. What about you, Mockingjay? You feeling totally safe?
That scene really stood out to me because I think Jenna Malone's acting is so good in that scene.
Yeah.
And it's so accurate to what was in the book. It makes me wish there was more Joanna and Katniss. I think that scene, how good it is. I just like their conversation in that scene about like who like would have been better as the Mockingjay. I don't know. They seem to kind of not become friends in that scene because that's more like what happens in the book, I guess. But I just like their dynamic. It's a
Yeah.
solid scene for me.
I think it's a good scene, but I think I reacted completely different than how you reacted. I kind of cringed when I watched the scene.
Really?
I cringe not because of it's the acting's great. Like it's there and it's great. But I think it's just seeing Joanna in that state. I think that's what's so hard for me about Mockingjay Part 2 is struggling to actually see all these characters struggling on screen.
Mm,
You know,
you're
when you
such an
read it,
empath.
you can just
Me, I'm
kind of
like, I
block
don't
it out.
care.
But in the movie, I'm forced to come face to face with it. And so in that scene especially, you can see how much Johanna is having a hard time with everything. And just
And
seeing
it's
her
so
like needing
good.
morphling. It's so hard. It's hard to watch.
The part where she talks about the doctor saying like he always says that I'm totally safe.
Mhm.
You feel totally safe? Like it's so good. It's so good.
It is good. The acting is really, really good. Yeah. But I think I'm gonna hate all your scenes now for this
I like the
reason.
good acting moments, I guess. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I gravitate towards. I don't know.
That's funny.
All right.
Okay.
4.
4. You just I know you're gonna hate me for this. I know you're gonna hate
Oh,
me.
I think I know what you're gonna
I'm
say.
tired of killing his slaves for him.
Yeah.
I'm not a slave.
I am. That's why I killed Cato. And he killed Thresh. And Thresh killed Clove. It just goes around and around. And who wins? Always Snow. I am done being a piece in his game.
I love that scene. I like pulled up the whole script. I'm ready to like belt it out right now because I love this scene so much. Like, I know you don't like the delivery, but I love the delivery. It's so powerful to me. It's Jennifer Lawrence. I think her acting in this moment killed it. I know you're gonna argue against me, but
I
I
don't
love
like
this
it.
part. See, it's so powerful for me. I think
Makes me
just like
uncomfortable.
I would pick this over the District 8 moment where like if we burn, you burn with us. Like this is my
Absolutely not.
moment.
Absolutely not.
This
No,
is
no
my
treachery.
moment. But I just love it. It's so powerful and just I mean it was pretty much taken from the book. It changed slightly, I know, but I don't know. I like it and I like the random guy that she's just like proclaiming this to. I don't know. I think it's a really great scene and I enjoy it. It's just powerful to me. I know you hate it. I know
Happy
you
for
do. So you've explained on Tribute Talk, but let's hear it on here.
I mean, I did say on Tribute Talk that I think I need to rewatch the scene and think about it again, reread the book scene. Throughout the whole movie, the focus is more on like Snow and not the capital in general. And like that always threw me off in that
That's
scene
fair.
in the movie because I just didn't really get the obsession with Snow and not taking down the capital in general. And I guess maybe that's why it just sounds funny to me. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe saying the word Snow, it's like Snow, he's the worst. I don't know. I just don't it just makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. I just wish the dialogue was kind of different. I guess it makes sense in the movie.
It goes around, and who wins? Always Snow. I'm done being a piece in his game.
Oh,
District
it's so
12, District 2,
cheesy.
we have no fight.
It's not the piece in
I
our
know you hate it.
games.
That's so funny.
No. I just it's just a feeling.
Oh
No.
no, it's a cringe moment. She got the ick.
Yeah, I can't.
It's
But
so
she has so
funny.
many other good speeches, I feel like, in comparison.
Mm-mm. This
That
is
one's
my
a
speech
no
moment.
for
I
me.
remember seeing this for the first time and being like, yes, Katniss, go. I love you.
I remember seeing it for the first time and being like, I don't know about
We could have
this.
done better. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry, guys. This is a favorite scenes episode, and I'm just gonna be
We're just gonna be
Negative
bashing the
Nancy
whole
over here.
movie. Okay,
But
what's
I
your
have a
number
top
4?
5 that I like. Okay, number 4 for me is Boggs's death. And kind of specifically, like the explosion happens, and then the entire Star Squad is like standing there in the back, kind of like speechless. And it's so ominous and quiet.
Come on, he's gone. He's gone.
That's really just like the shift of everything in the movie where everything starts going downhill and it's awful and moving like, I don't know, at a more fast pace. And I like that moment of transition, I guess. I don't like Boggs dying,
I know. I was
obviously.
like, the way that you introduced it was not okay. I like
Sorry.
Boggs's death scene because
It's a favorite scene.
No,
Just
but that
seeing
makes sense.
the pain is good though, because seeing everyone's reaction, like they're just in shock.
I think you put that in a really good way. I like how you said that it is a turning point because from before then, they're just like, oh, we're going along with the Capitol. We are going along with what 13 wants us to do in the Capitol. La da da. And then all of a sudden, just like it's no longer fun and games. Like it's no longer just Bravos. Like
Which I mean, we read Mockingjay, and in the book, I feel like it's that times 10 because they're having kind of like banter before and like laughing and stuff. But watching the scene again, there is some of that. Like Finnick is laughing when the pods are going off, which I think is hilarious. He's like enjoying it. He's like, this is so cool. This is funny. And like right before that, when they're walking to where the scene takes place, Finnick is like helping PETA with his lines that he's going to say on camera, which is an honorable mention for me.
To the citizens of the Capitol, our war is not with you.
The citizens of the Capitol, our war is not with you.
You will be a vital part of the democracy that follows our victory.
Be a vital part of the democracy that follows our victory.
You got it.
Okay.
So there is kind of that shift, I think, from it being like more casual and they're just there to shoot propaganda footage to oh shoot, Boggs is dead.
That's the part of the movie where I turn it off. I'm like, oh, this is where it all
I
goes
feel like
downhill.
the best part of the movie is from there till the end.
No, like, it's so bad.
Except for the Joanna Katniss like scene that I like. We can skip everything up until Paler's speech to the end.
See, it's just so painful for me. I don't know. Like, I like the movie.
The pain is
I
great.
just don't like the movie at the same time. Like, I get what you're saying about it, and I understand what you're saying, and it makes sense. But at the same time, it's like it's too painful to watch. Like when I sat down to watch it the last time to take these notes, I was just like, I physically could not do it. I was just like, nope, I don't want to watch Boggs die. I can't do this.
I mean, I feel like there's so many different ways to frame best scenes too,
That's
right?
true.
Are these the scenes that I like to sit down and like rewatch? Like I'll pull up the clip on YouTube and watch it once in a while, but not watch the full movie? Or
Yeah.
are they like the best acted scenes? Or like does it have the best like cinematography? Or like what defines best?
Mhm. I'm just going by my favorite. What I like.
I feel like I had a hard time figuring out how to define like my best scenes for Mockingjay Part 2, which is maybe why it was so hard.
My number 3 is Katniss and Prim when they're dancing together at Finnick and Annie's wedding. The music goes silent and they're like hugging each other, and she just realizes like this is the mission that she needs to go on.
I mean, we
like
could
it.
also go by camera work with that like circle around them
True.
like that it does.
And
That's a
just
good
follows
scene.
Katniss's face, yeah, and her emotions.
See,
That's what
this
I
is
like.
where reading the book recently kind of messed me up though,
Mm,
because they, have dialogue in the book.
yeah,
And that dialogue was kind of taken away and given to Katniss and Peeta at the end of the movie.
yeah,
And since that's the last time they really like see each other, I mean, I know like the hug is good, but I mean, it's Prim. It's Prim and Katniss. Like
mhm,
that's everything.
yeah.
So I kind of wish they had some dialogue there, but I do really like the camera going around them and like the dance at the wedding and the hug. It's good.
What's your number 3? Uh-oh.
This is so obscure. My number 3 is Haymitch and Katniss. There's a shot of them going home on the train from the
Yes,
Capitol at the
yes.
very end.
It's in my honorable mentions.
Okay, good. It
Yes.
hits me with like
Mhm.
so much emotion. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, we're like going home for like the final time.
For
Like
good.
we
Yeah.
left for the Capitol on this train, and everything's still there. They're in the same room with the blue chairs, which I love, and like the setting
Yes.
and everything. And now we're coming back, but we're coming back like with all this trauma.
Yes.
And it's painful, and it's just like a 3-second scene, but I absolutely love it enough
You
to
can
put it
just
number 3.
you can feel it. Like that's one of the things. I rewatched that scene today, and you can just feel how quiet it is between them because it's no longer Effie's not there, Peeta's not there, like it's not the full group like
Right?
at the end.
It's Katniss and Haymitch who are like
Mhm.
those two. They have like a special relationship, and just to see them broken on the train
Yes.
returning home, it's so sad and it's everything.
And you can see her face. Like I think she's kind of crying a little bit. I don't know if she's like full on crying,
Yeah.
but like there's tears in her eyes. And just that short, whatever you said, like 3 seconds worth of a shot. It's really powerful.
Like everything is on Jen's
I'm glad that you picked that out too, because yeah, I was like, this is my niche one that I'm gonna include.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. That makes me so sad. Oh.
It's so sad. I need like a parallel edit or something. I'm sure somebody's made it, but for them on the train in the first movie versus that scene. All right, are we at your number 2?
My number 2, it's pretty easy to pick out. Everyone knows me. It's the part where they're running from all the crazy pods at the end, and it's the Peeta stay with me kissing scene.
Peter, we have to keep going. What? We have to keep going. Yes, you can. Leave me alone. Look at me. Look at me. Stay with me.
Always.
Come on.
I knew you'd have that on your list. I'm like, that's either 1 or 2.
It's definitely 2. I just love that scene because it's so powerful. I would show it, but I have like a sticker of it on my laptop, on the back of my laptop. Like, I just love that scene. It's my Everlark scene. I need an Everlark scene. I got them in like 3 of the 4 movies, and it's what I needed. So
You know why I love that scene? It has my
So-
propaganda poster in the back.
exactly. It's so good. That's all that matters. Is your
They're
propaganda
kissing and
poster.
I'm like looking past
You're
the
like,
frame.
Yep.
Like, oh my gosh, look at my poster. Love
I
of my
mean,
life.
it's just so like cheesy teen YA BS, you know what I mean? Like they're literally kissing in the middle of all of this happening, but I love it. I eat that up. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
but it's what needs to happen in that moment.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
I do like that moment between them. I didn't pick
Yeah.
any Everlark things, but
Yeah, don't worry, I'll make up for it.
number 2 on my list is the lizard mutt jump scare.
Oh no, come on.
It's good.
No, it's not.
It is the tension.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, I cannot watch the lizard mutts. I can't watch that.
I love
Can't watch
everything
that
like them
sequence.
down there walking around in the like super
Ugh.
high sewage water.
Makes me so
The fake out
claustrophobic.
where you think that the jump scare is gonna happen and it
Mhm.
doesn't, but them going through the tiny crawl spaces, just
Oh,
waiting for it to happen. Yeah,
so bad.
it's great.
So bad. It hurts me to watch that whole sequence. It really hurts. Not just because like Finnick dies, but those things scare me. I think those are the only mutts that like truly, when I see them on screen, I get kind of creeped out by them.
Which is why it's in the top 5.
You deserve top 5.
They're so scary.
Well, we said we have to take all of our scenes at the end and like make an episode where we do all of the scenes together.
I already know none of my scenes for Mockingjay Part 2 are making.
Spoiler.
They're at the end.
Oh, yeah. The lizard mutt sequence is just so hard for me because it's scary. But I get what you said before about the whole. It's like what we're rating it on, and is it our favorite or is it just good? But that is a good jump scare sequence. It's good.
It's
moment.
fine. It's a good time.
Well, we're at number 1. My number 1, of course, is from PETA planting the primrose sequence till the end in the epilogue.
I found these, over by the edge of the forest. It's primrose.
To the best of my ability, to preserve, protect, and uphold the rights of every citizen of Panem.
There's Plutarch right in the middle of it all.
And they say no one ever wins the games.
You love me. Real or not real?
Real.
I love the epilogue. Give me
That's more than a
epilogue.
scene, but okay.
I know. It's like a
Like the end
montage,
montage and the epilogue
Yeah.
is separate.
but it's included. It's the same thing because it's Everlark, right?
All right.
Yeah. I love the part where she comes home from that train with Hamish and she's in the woods, and then all of a sudden it cuts to her seeing PETA planting the primroses and like, you came home. I'm like, yes, he did come home.
I love her shooting off the arrow too. If we were just talking about that whole montage,
Mhm.
shooting like the arrow off. That's great. Like just
Yeah.
the freedom and like relief. I don't know. It's like we
Mhm.
can all let out a sigh of relief when she shoots off the arrow into the woods.
It's also just hard because I feel how lonely that whole sequence is.
Mhm.
Like,
Because Gail has been there with her in the past.
yeah. And now, like, the loneliness starts from the end of like Prim's death onward, because we get like her and Haymitch are the only ones on the train. She's
Mhm.
alone in the woods. Then it's just her and Peeta looking out at the rain. Like, this is her life now. It's hard for me to watch. I don't like watching it, but it's my favorite because of how
I
hopeful it
love
is.
on my honorable mentions, I wrote Squad watches Taylor be sworn in.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because that is that's like the moment where it's like, oh, everybody, like we're a family here. Like it's cozy, like things are moving forward, like things are good for right now in the world, and we're together and watching something good happen.
Yeah.
I love that moment. I also have on my honorable mentions that look between Katniss to Peeta in the rain, or like right by the doorway. Jen does a really good job, I feel like, in that
Not
scene.
making
Like
it
not
weird.
saying anything, but like you just see it in her face.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Peeta.
Peeta. Well, now we're down to your final one. I don't know what this is gonna be, and I'm excited. I think I might know.
I think you might know. The execution
Yes.
is my number one.
May your aim be as true as your heart is pure.
First of all,
Coin looks so good.
Coin in that amazing getup. I want to wear that outfit. Give it to me.
Yes.
And I love the look in her face when she looks up and she shoots the arrow at Coin. Like the shock of the audience, everyone running at Snow, and I love Snow's laugh. Like that look between Snow and Katniss. I love it all. The music.
Yeah, that's one of my honorable mentions. I like the leading up to it with the drums when she's walking down the line and everyone's like joining behind her. How eerie. Yes.
It's so good. That's the scene that I'll go on YouTube and execution scene. Watch
You're
that
like,
one
yes.
in my free time.
You're like, let's get this Monday morning going. Let's turn on Coin's execution.
I love that outfit. I want those boots. I want those gloves. I want the cloak.
You would rock it, honestly.
Everything.
You would rock it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, had to be my number one.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Just the tension that's built too. Not even just like from the drums, but just like deciding like what is she gonna do? If you hadn't read the books, you had no idea. Like,
I feel like the tension is taken out a little bit by the fact that they show the nightlock pill so much. I'm like, why didn't they just take the nightlock pill out? Like we're done with the nightlock. We don't need a callback to that, honestly. Like it could just be that she's not planning to take the pill afterwards, but that she just knows she's gonna, be in prison or whatever. She's gonna take whatever consequences come. She just wants to shoot Coin. Because I feel like for non-book readers, it kind of spoils it a little bit. Like
true.
she's gonna do something.
But I like how she lets Snow die at the hands of the people. I like that.
Yeah. Well, especially because she's been so intent up until that point on I kill Snow. Like I get to kill Snow. She wanted to do that so badly, but then giving it back to the hands of the people and doing something greater that like needed to be done instead.
Okay, should we go over honorable mentions? I have 3
I have a
left.
lot.
Oh my god. I have 3. My first one is when they kill Minister Antonius at the beginning.
I want every camera watching. We'll turn their advance into a celebration of suffering. Let each moment be captured for all posterity. So, what did we toast tonight, Minister Antonius? We toasted a glorious era. coming to its bitter end.
I like
That's a cool
that
scene.
because it's just so creepy and it shows Snow's hand dealing with people who go against him, because he talks about it, or Finnick talks about it in Mockingjay Part 1, but to actually physically see him doing this to somebody and poisoning them for going against him or doing something wrong is kind of awesome.
We're gonna have the parallel of Ballad, the end of
Mhm.
Ballad, that happening for the first time, and then I guess that happening for perhaps the last time.
Yeah,
That's pretty
so that's one
cool.
of my favorites. Pretty eerie.
I do like that scene. Okay, I also love Katniss and Gale when they leave Tigress's shop and they're just walking with the announcement blaring about going to the mansion and just being in the sea of extras.
All residents must proceed to the presidential estate. Please continue to move forward in a calm and orderly fashion. Additional food, medicine, and clothing will be provided upon arrival. By order of President Snow, all residents must proceed to the presidential estate. Please continue to move forward.
All the extras look so cool, and it's cool to just like look around the crowd, how far they'd come from the Capitol extras from the first film.
That's what I was gonna say, yeah.
They all look so good. It's cool to just like focus on different costumes.
What we expected, what we wanted versus what we got from the first film. I would have loved to have been an extra, because imagine getting like your outfit and everything.
Capitol
That would've been so
glam.
cool.
Yeah.
Capitol Couture.
I want to be a Capitol extra for Ballad where they got to wear the cool like period costumes.
Oh, so cool.
That's what I want to be doing.
Okay, my next one is the conversation between Boggs and Katniss about Katniss earning a long life.
There's only one thing you could do now to add more fire to this rebellion.
Die.
That's not gonna happen under my watch, Katniss. I'm planning for you to have a long life.
Why, you don't know me anything?
Because you've earned it.
You can't
That
not
on
have
my
that
list
one.
too.
Yeah.
It's a
It has to
good
make
scene
it.
between the two of them.
Mhm. And I think that's the first moment where she realizes that she does deserve something, because she's never, every moment for her in the whole saga is just survival. And so for her to like find a stranger pretty much and have them say like, no, you've earned this from what I've seen from the outside, I think that really takes her aback. And I think it's just a really powerful scene.
Boggs.
Boggs.
What
My
a
favorite scene is
stand-up
Boggs
guy.
dying.
I know.
Oh, so sad.
Another one I have on my list, when Coin shows up on the TV and gives a little like eulogy for Katniss.
No.
And that little moment
Boo.
between Snow and Coin where she says, picked from the masses, and then Snow's like, plucked.
Picked from the masses, he called her.
Plucked.
As if a leader, a true leader, could be anything else. I had the privilege of knowing a small town girl from the Seam in District 12 who survived the Hunger Games and the Quarter Quell and rose up and turned a nation of slaves into an army. Dead or alive, Katniss Everdeen will remain the face of this revolution.
That's funny. Okay, that's funny.
I just love that little bit. And I love her like fake tears, like just entertaining the people, putting on the drama.
Give the people what they
Dead
want.
or alive, Katniss Everdeen will remain the face of this revolution. Like,
Look at you. You could be Coin.
If I had that outfit, yes.
Yes, we'll get you the outfit. Don't worry. That's funny. Yeah, plugged
love
from the
it.
masses. That's funny. And my final one that we haven't talked about is, I can't not mention it, is President Snow in the Rose Garden at the end.
She intends to take my place now. But I've been watching you. And you watching me. I'm afraid we've both been played for fools.
Also on my
it's-
list. I almost put that on my
especially-
top 5.
Yeah, I almost did too, especially because we just reread that scene this past week. And it's pretty much verbatim the same thing, and it was really, really well done. I mean, Donald Sutherland, of course, is a great actor. Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress, but I feel like they really captured it from what I envisioned in the book.
Yeah. I feel like having just read that scene was clouding my judgment a little, and that's why I was like, I'm not gonna put it on my top 5. I don't think it's anything like it doesn't really have a ton of like emotion in that scene, or it's just a really well translated scene from the book.
See,
So I
yeah,
think it's great, but it's not my top 5.
I would like it. I like it more than the catching fire conversation that they
Me
have in the
too.
movie.
100%.
And it's just, I don't know, it's really good. But I agree with you. It didn't make my top 5, but it was an honorable mention.
Well, I had Finnick helping Peeta learn his lines for the propaganda footage, which I already mentioned. I love that. He's like, yeah, you got it.
It's so cute.
I love them. And then I love the scene where Snow is sick or tired. He's got like his head down on the desk, and then Egeria or something like that comes in, and it's like, oh, we found them.
Let me see. I need to see for myself. It's her. It is her. The arena has moved underground.
He wakes up and he's like, where? Like, I've got to see her. I got to see her. Like, he's so obsessed with her. He's so sickly looking. And then he's like weirdly enthralled to see her on the footage. I just love his acting in that moment. And then his line, the arena has moved underground. So good.
That is really good. I have to put that on my list now too, because that's a really good scene.
The other tiny scene that I had was the shot of the squad walking on the bridge to the burning Capitol.
Yeah.
I just love that parallel of in the first movie, we see the train going to the Capitol, the same shot, and now we see the Squad 451 walking on the bridge, and the Capitol the city's burning. Love
We're about
that.
to go take it down.
So lots of like little scenes and things that aren't necessarily dialogue scenes from the book, but just bits of the last movie that I like.
Again, it's a hard movie to watch. I'm glad that this episode is done. Not kidding. But no, it's a great movie. It's just, for me, it's really hard to get through and to choose. I think if I were to go through, because the way that I chose them was like what I enjoy watching and like what are my personal favorite things to see. I think if we were to say like, oh, best scenes in general, just hands down, my list would have been different. But
I know I'm just like, well, I think I did a combo of things that I like to watch, but then also cinema,
but also me, for this whole entire like saga that we've done of all 4 films, I've just been what I like to see on screen.
You're in your feelings though. I mean, it makes sense. It's very Holly.
Exactly.
I love that.
Is that all we have for scenes? I'd love to hear, I'll post a poll where we release our podcast episodes, but we'd love to hear your scenes. I know we've been getting responses for other episodes and we do read them, I promise. But I'd love to hear what other people's scenes are as well.
Yeah, I mean, Catching Fire's definitely still my favorite. That's never going to change, except maybe when Ballad comes out. I don't know.
Stay tuned.
Catching Fire is number 1. I used to have Mockingjay Part 2 as number 2. I think it's moved to the bottom.
Wow.
For me. I know. Yeah. And then the other 2 have just moved up. So Catching Fire, The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1, and then Mockingjay Part 2.
I think that's about the same for me. I can't decide. I have to rewatch the first and second movies because I feel like I liked the first book better than the second book, and I want to see if that's changed over time as well, because it's been a few months since I've seen like the actual movie.
It's been a few months.
So, we got to go back. There's got to be a reason to rewatch.
There's always a reason to rewatch.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I like Catching Fire. I think it's the same order as yours, to be honest. So,
Catching Fire is just top tier. Top
It's-
tier. I
it's
know my
amazing.
top scenes are gonna be from Catching Fire.
I just have a feeling that Ballad is going to become all of our favorites. I just have a feeling.
And it's gonna be like over 2.5 hours. There's gonna be so much goodness in there. So much
I can't
goodness. It's
wait.
gonna be great. As long as the
I can't
dialogue
wait.
delivery isn't cheesy, because that's gonna be a no for me.
District 12,
Then it's
District
gonna
2,
be
we
great.
have no fight.
All the Lucy Gray lines, I'm sorry.
Oh God, it tastes like bath time or bedtime.
Something about bathing in buttermilk. I don't know.
Well, we'll get there when we get there. One more year, and then we'll be counting down our favorite scenes.
It still doesn't even feel real.
I
Next
know.
year, a year from now, we
Less
can do a
than a
top
year.
5 scenes
Yeah.
from Ballad. Isn't that wild?
Imagine going to the theater just like so many times, just like I'm gonna know my local theater attendance here because I'll be like, hey, just checking in for Ballad.
Yeah. I'm gonna go so many times. I'm gonna start like making notes.
Yes,
And
we definitely should.
just for like top scenes episode. Let me write it down because I gotta get it down before the DVD comes out. So you can't
Yes.
rewatch it till then.
Yes, I love that. Well, sweet. Now we have something to look forward to, but likewise, we also have Tribute Talk to look forward to tomorrow, where we'll be together, which is exciting.
Yes.
So join us for once in a lifetime moment situation. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, stay tuned next year for our favorite Ballad scenes.
Coming at you soon.
Theater near you. Awesome. Well, until next time, bye.
See ya.